Welcome, world. You're listening to Bobby G's Break Room with your favorite first cousin, Bobby G. Bobby G's Break Room is a podcast that will provide you with authentic conversation and the unfiltered truth about various topics and events that are happening in the world today. Here in the Break Room, you will hear in-depth commentary on the latest news, hottest topics, and trending stories in the world of entertainment, sports, politics, and social media. So turn your volume up and lean in to listen to what's going on in the Break Room.
Welcome, world, to Bobby G's Break Room. This is your host, your favorite first cousin, Bobby G. And hey, we have another great show lined up for you today. The Break Room is a place where you're going to have authentic conversation about various topics that's going on in the world, that's trending in the world of entertainment, sports, social media. So what I need you to do is lean in real close, turn your volume up, and listen to what's happening in the Break Room. I also want to take this time to recognize a few people that has made this possible for me. Smash Nichols Entertainment, thank you so much for your support in making the Break Room a success. Also, to the people that has sent me text messages, emails, phone calls, and even in person, I've been stopped. I had a great conversation with a gentleman last night. He said, hey, I love what you're doing, First Cuz. Keep moving forward. I said, hey, I have another episode coming out. Thank you so much for the support. You guys are really making the Break Room a reality for me, and you're definitely making dreams come true. So I really want to thank you for that. At this point in time, we're going to go ahead and get into what's going on in the world. Talking about the big three, as we know the war between Russia and Ukraine, the war is still happening. The war is going on. And at this point in time, as you know, I'm an advocate for our U.S. soldiers. And my hope and dream and prayer is that our soldiers don't have to be deployed overseas or anywhere. We have to fight a war. So what I'm going to ask that you continue to do is continue to support the soldiers by going to Sandbox, downloading the app Sandbox. That's SANDBOXX. Download the app. I'm asking that you find the soldier information. I'm asking that you send them a letter, send them a message, send them a gift card, send them a care package. Reach out to the soldier so we can support our troops. Even if you don't know a soldier, you can go in and find the soldier and support our troops. Next, I'm also going to point out that Brittney Griner, I said I will continue to give updates on her. Brittney Griner is a U.S. WNBA basketball player, two-time Olympic champion. She was in Russia supplementing her income plan for a Russian team when she was trying to come back to the States. Right when the war was happening, she was detained because she had vaping paraphernalia in her bags. And so she is still being detained. And from what I understand, it's going to be about 2 more months that she's going to be detained in Russia. So I'm asking that we do a public petition to bring Brittney home. That's the goal. Bring Brittney home. Let her handle her legal issues, whatever they may be. But the goal is to bring Brittney home. We're going to ask for a public petition to do that. And it'll start with me and anyone on any kind of social media platform. I ask that you continue to repeat what I'm saying. Let's bring Brittney home. Bring her home back to the United States and let her sort out our legal matters, because I don't think that her or anyone else need to be stuck in a Russian jail and not able to come home. Okay, with that being said, we're going to move into sports. My Los Angeles Lakers. Wow. At this point in time, it's looking bad for them. It looks like they're on the outside of the playoffs, and it's not the end of the world. It looks like they're on the outside of the playoffs. They have about 7 more games left. LeBron just got hurt. Anthony Davis is hurt. He's supposed to be coming back when they play in the game tonight. Doesn't look good. Only good thing that I can say is that LeBron, he'll be the oldest player. I think he's 37 years old right now to win the scoring championship. He has the scoring title. He has to play at least in 3 more games to average about 30 points a game so he can win the scoring title. And I think he'll be able to do that. And it just kind of says a lot about LeBron James as far as the greatest of all time, whoever played the game of basketball. You have to kind of put him up there because he'll be the scoring leader next year. He'll be 4th in assists next year. He'll have done so many wonderful things in the sport of basketball. He is the face of the NBA. He's an ambassador for the NBA. He has done so many great things. So LeBron James, Godspeed to you. We're glad that you're doing the things that you are doing. But the Lakers, the organization, need to kind of revamp, kind of trade some people out, get some young blood in there to kind of help the Lakers get back to the winning tradition that they're known for. Okay, in entertainment news. Now, we know that everyone on planet Earth has been talking about this whole Will Smith, Chris Rock debacle that happened on Sunday night at the Oscars. And I'm going to give my take on it, but I want you to think about what I'm saying here. 2 things can be right and 2 things can be wrong. I'll start with Chris Rock. If Chris Rock knew that Jada Pinkett Smith was suffering from alopecia, then that was a tasteless joke. I don't think it warranted him getting slapped, but I think it was a tasteless joke. Personally, I don't think he knew. I don't think he knew that she had this condition. But we don't know that. We don't know that for sure. Will Smith, you were dead wrong. You were wrong in your actions and everything that you did on that particular night. You're wrong in leaving your seat. You're wrong in approaching the stage. You're wrong in assaulting Chris Rock. And then you were wrong for the profanity that was used after you came back to your seat. Okay? Now, my concern is this. No one is talking about Chris Rock after he got hit. During the commercial break, you saw where Denzel and Tyler Perry, they were all consoling Will Smith as if he was the victim. They were all asking him if he's okay, and no one came to the aid of Chris Rock, and he's the victim. That's the problem I have. And the reason I'm saying this is because Chris Rock, he has children. He has family that love him also. He has people who care about him, and no one wants to see their loved one taking a right hand across the face. But I can tell you this much, and I'm going to say it like I've heard so many other guys say it. It could not have been your favorite first cuz to take a hit like that. The moment he would even came close to the stage, I'm putting my guards up. The moment he would have raised his hand to hit me, I'm breaking him down. But that's just your favorite first cuz. Now, here's the solution to the problem. Solution is Chris Rock, take some time, gather yourself, gather your family around you, make sure that you're okay. If you need counseling, get the counseling that you need. Make sure you're okay. The way you fight back with this, about $200 million. $200 million will make everything go away. And that's just my estimation. Because there's no excuse for this man to come on stage to assault you. There's nothing that he can say out of his mouth. And the part that really burns my grits, this is the part that really just kind of gets to me and just really, really burns my grits. When he got up to win, when he won the Oscar, he gave his thank yous and he gave his apologies to the Academy and to his peers. But he was not man enough to apologize to the man that he assaulted. That's a flaw in your integrity. That's a character flaw in you, Will Smith. And there is absolutely no excuse for that. So this is what I say. Chris Rock, you are the champion on that particular night. You displayed a level of courage and integrity that Will Smith couldn't even think about. So Godspeed to Chris Rock and to Will Smith. At some point, I understand you were thinking you're defending your wife's honor, but the question is this. If she was as down for you as you are for her, she could have stopped you from going on that stage. She could have said, Will, sit down, sit down. The only time you should go on that stage is when you're getting this award tonight. And let that be the end of it. It wasn't really a bad joke. So with that being said, this is coming from your favorite first cuz. I have no sympathy for those crocodile tears that Will Smith was crying. That's what really burned my grits. You knew exactly what you were doing. You knew exactly what you were doing, and then you want someone to feel sympathy for you and join you in the moment, and America got fooled because you're a great actor. Not your favorite first cuz. That's what burned my grits. People who do stuff, then act like they had nothing to do with it, or act like, oh, I'm really sorry. If you're that sorry, man up. I think you should turn in your Oscar. I think the Academy should ban you from ever coming to the Oscars again. And I think you should come off that $200 million. That's just me. That'll make things real, real good if it was me. But like I said before, it couldn't have been your favorite first cuz. You put your hand on me, or I'm going to do something to you. I'm going to do something strong to you. I'm going to make sure you never do that again. And then after you hit him, you had the nerve to turn your back and walk back to your seat. Couldn't have been your favorite first cuz. That's all I got to say about it. Okay. Today we have a special guest that's going to come on the show. That's going to come on the show after the commercial break. Oh, before we do that, we also got our burnt grits for the day. You already know my burnt grits. When people have these notions that they can do what they want to do and then want people to feel sympathy for them, it really burns my grits. I would like to take this time to Matthew Moppins. Matthew Moppins and I, we served in the military together, and he was like my mentor, big brother, and he looked out for me quite a bit. And his burnt grits is people in general. And it's funny to me because sometimes I understand, sometimes you just don't want to be around people. You don't want to be bothered. So just people in general. And also, we have Miss Melinda. Melinda said that her burnt grits is she doesn't like it when people go in to tell a supervisor Every time you turn around, someone's running to tell the supervisor. Okay, Melinda, well, hey, some people like to snitch, some people don't. I don't know. But hey, we want to thank you so much for logging on to the break room and leaving your messages and your correspondence from What Burns Your Grits. And we're asking the listening audience and also the viewing audience, please send me a message, Bobby G Break Room, BOBBIEG Break Room at gmail.com, or YouTube. Go to YouTube, go to my video. Once this video is posted, leave me a message on What Burns Your Grits. You can also find me on Facebook and Bobby G's Break Room and Facebook. Let me know what burns your grits. On the other side of this commercial, we're going to have a very special guest, Dr. Vanessa DUNN-GUYTON. She's going to come on and we're going to have a great conversation that I believe that can benefit a lot of people. We're going to be talking about abuse awareness. This is April 1st, and April 1st is Abuse Awareness Month, and we're going to have a great conversation. So stick and stay. Be right back. Okay, thank everyone for coming back on the other side of this commercial break. Today's topic, we're going to have a very special guest that's on with me today. And this is a topic that I think everyone should hear about. We are now celebrating National Abuse Awareness Month, and I have a special guest with me. This woman is a pioneer. She is a giant in her community, and she's doing great things. She has made moves. She's creating opportunities, and she's bringing awareness to abuse. And she is the founder, the creator, and the author of HushNoMore.org. Please welcome the one, the only Dr. Vanessa DUNN-GUYTON. Dr. Guyton, how are you this morning?
I am absolutely wonderful. Thank you. I am honored to be on this platform with you.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for just having the opportunity to share your story with us. You and I had the opportunity to speak offline, and you shared your story with me, and I felt that your story is very powerful, and I've had the opportunity to watch your podcast, to watch your show, and really go through your website and look at all the wonderful things you're doing. If you don't mind, would you share your story with the listening audience?
All right. Well, my name is Dr. Vanessa DUNN-GUYTON, and I just wanted to be able to share just a part of me to show you how I started Hush No More. I was in the military, and my first duty station, 18 years old, thinking that I know everything, and I had a mentor, and I call him Staff Sergeant Infantryman. And he was the person that I looked up to, the person that gave me advice on how to be promoted, how to be more like him, because he was very successful, had a lot of awards, what we call fast tracking. And so I really admired him a lot. And we went to dinner one night. We would hang out all the time, but this one particular night we went to dinner. It was Valentine's Day. And for me, it was just another day. He was like, "You got a date for Valentine's Day?" I'm like, "No, you got a date?" He was like, "No, I don't have a date." So we go out to dinner and just platonic friends. And he was about 35 years old. So for me at 18, that was old, right? So I had no interest in him whatsoever. After dinner, he was like, "I got some VCR tapes from the States. You remember the show Living Color?"
I do.
All right. So that was like the big deal then, right? It was a big deal. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll go to your room. We could watch Living Color." And when you're in Germany, I was in Germany. That is a place that we don't get access to regular TV. So it's a big deal, like a really big deal to get movies from the States. So it was nothing for me to go to his room to see this. After the movie, he was like, "You want to listen to the new R. Kelly CD?" And this was when 12 Play just came out. And then CDs were very expensive. So as a private in the Army, I didn't have CD money. So I was like, "Yeah, let's listen to R. Kelly." And I wanted just to be able to hear it for the first time. So he turned the music on. He turned it real loud. And I believe that was just his way to cover up what was about to happen. He decided to use 12 Play, in my mind, as his theme song. So things just went way higher from there. When he finished, he said, "Soldier, you know nobody's going to believe you." And I believed him because he was that guy. He was that soldier. So I went back to my barracks room, which is like a dorm room for the civilians that's listening. Went back to my room. I cried. I woke up that morning and I said, "I'll never tell anybody." And I didn't. I didn't tell anyone for like 17 years. And how I had to tell somebody was because I was in the mall and I saw a guy come out of the store that looked like him, and all the memories came back. I had suppressed it for so long and I freaked out. And this little old lady was in the store. She was like, "Baby, are you okay?" She walked me to my car, allowed me to calm down. But from then, it just started downhill. I ended up being admitted into the VA hospital. I actually had to get intensive therapy. I was drinking every day, not realizing that was because of the trauma because I was already dealing with a lot of stuff. But sometimes when we suppress trauma, it shows up in our life, but we don't really remember or know how it shows up in our life. So from there, I started on a healing journey. In 2019, I decided that part of my trauma was that I never shared with anyone. I never got any help. I didn't speak up for myself.
Okay.
And that's why I encourage others to decide to hush no more. And you don't have to do it on a platform like me. You could just share it with a doctor, with a therapist, with a friend, with the police, and get some help so that you have a right to tell it and a right to heal and not have to struggle like I did for so many years. And so that's Hush No More.
Wow, that is an amazing story. And I have been privileged enough to go to your website and, like I said, listen to a couple of your podcasts and watch your show on Facebook Live. And I guess my initial question is, because of what I'm seeing, do you feel like you have got to your calling? Is this your calling?
Yes, because it's not easy, but I absolutely love it. Like, I love helping people. I love when individuals call me and I'm the first person that they've ever told. I love speaking in our community about the topics because I believe that awareness plus knowledge equals prevention and an opportunity to heal. So if you don't know about something, how can you prevent it?
Yeah.
If you don't know that it's showing up in your life, how can you prevent it? So that is my goal. And I just believe this is where God had me because I am a business major. Like, business is my jam. I never was in the advocacy world, but this is just where God had me.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, by the smile that you have on your face, even now you can show you're showing victory through the things that you've gone through, and your calling is to helping other people. For those who are listening who may have gone through some of these incidents similar to yours, what are some of the signs that people can look out for? For instance, say if a person might try to get you in a certain situation or a certain environment, what are some of the things that people can look out for that will get them in a particular situation?
Well, a lot of times people will sexually assault you by creating this environment of trust. They're very charismatic. They don't look like the crazy stalker that's going to jump out of the woods. They look like Ted Bundy. You know, they look like everyday people. They look like your coworkers, your friends, your pastors, your priests. They look like everyday people. You just have to make sure that you are aware of your surroundings, you know, pay attention to signs that they may try to show interest in you. And even though you're showing that you're not, they may just have a regular day and say they thought that you were interested in them. You just have to have your guard up and also use your intuition. God gives all of us this little belly intuition. I always say that's your first sign that something is not right. When you're isolated, when you're in a place that people cannot hear you, when you're alone, they may come and corner you in a location that you didn't expect them to come in. But I just say, just pay attention and always have something close to you that you could defend yourself. You should always be in defense mode of how to protect yourself, not in a crazy defense mode, but start learning things, self-defense tactics that you can use to actually be able to protect yourself.
Have there been any kind of retaliation from someone else towards you or anyone that you are treating? Say, for instance, some people may be afraid to come out and say something because the perpetrator may come back and do something to them. There's always that fear that, okay, if I tell, then maybe this person will do it to me again.
So that is a true fear. I didn't have any retaliation. That did not happen to me, but I've had a lot of survivors that I've talked to that has happened to them. That is a real fear to have. And then that's why you talk to a victim advocate, you talk to the police, you talk to somebody else that you could talk those fears through because safety is always important. And then we can address it and see how we can protect you. So one of the things that we do, we create safety plans for individuals so that they need to leave a relationship, if they need to just make sure that they're safe. We go through that. We go through all those scenarios to try to help you through that. So you're not alone. When you have a fear, talk to somebody about it so you can work through it.
Yeah, a lot of times when people are abused or going through an abusive situation, you don't find out about it until later on. Maybe some time has gone by, several months, maybe even years. And it's good that you have a safety plan in place so people can feel confident and know that, okay, if this happened to you, if these are the things that you're experiencing and going through, hey, this is what you can do, step 1, step 2, step 3, and they can find some kind of resolve to the issue. What are some of the resources that are available other than the safety plan? Some of the resources that are available to potential victims?
So one thing that's unique about our organization is that we provide absolutely free counseling. Our services are free. Counseling is important for you to have somebody that you could talk to and not worry about them telling your business, and putting it in, and sharing it with your family.
Yeah.
Sometimes I tell people that your family and friends, your spouses, they're not always the person that you should talk to. And people will say, well, no, but this is a hard thing. This is a hard thing to really tell somebody that you've been sexually assaulted. So get a counselor, a victim advocate. That's something that you can do. We offer that. We also do art therapy every Thursday night where we just sit down and we don't think about our trauma. We just write and color and draw and just focus on other people. We have writing therapy where we do a lot of journaling. So journaling helps you get through this process as well. We have support groups where you could talk to somebody that has been through something similar to you. Right. And I look at everybody as an individual. So I don't have like this blueprint of what I offer you, because I'm going to sit down and see what it is that I could do to best serve you. Because I believe that everybody that comes to me are my customers. They're not just a client. They're my customers, and they mean a lot to me.
Absolutely.
And so how can I create something that's individual to you?
All right. Now, with the art therapy and the writing therapy, is there any wine included with that?
There is not.
No wine?
No wine. Well, I'll tell you why. They could have wine, but I've been sober for 3 years. Pat myself on the back.
All right. Congratulations.
So thank you. Part of my healing journey is I had to stop drinking because I was drinking every single day.
Okay.
So I no longer drink. So I don't offer it. But anytime we do art therapy or we have a live art therapy like paint party, people are welcome to bring whatever they want. They could sip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you find with the patients that you're treating that victims of abuse turn to some kind of substance abuse?
So that is very common. Addiction is very common when you have any type of trauma. So it could look like drugs. It could look like alcohol. It could look like an addiction from shopping or overeating. So it does play out in different areas of your life through addiction.
Okay. Wow, that is good to know. One of the things that I was curious about, because oftentimes we hear about how females are abused, and we never hear it from the male side. I had the opportunity to, again, view a few of your shows, and you have male guests that come on and they talk about their situation. Are you finding that it's more female than males that are coming out talking about abuse?
I do not. There are more females that come forward to talk about abuse, not men. What I do see is that more men are abused as children in the early stages of their life rather than adults. Statistically, it's 1 in 6 men are abused sexually. We do believe that it's higher than that because men do not report, but that is a statistic that we have. But men are normally abused earlier in life, and that's where it plays out. And so you will see that a lot.
Okay. Now, Dr. Guyton, where are you located? Let everyone know where you're located.
I am located in Columbia, South Carolina.
All right. Columbia, South Carolina. What is South Carolina known for? What is if you come to South Carolina, see, if you come to Jacksonville, you know, the Jaguars. That's the Jacksonville Jaguars. And as you know, I'm a great fan of the Jaguars. What is Columbia, South Carolina known for?
Okay, so you can't say Jaguars, and I just don't understand because I am originally from Orlando, so I am a Dolphin fan. So I must say that before we move forward. So I am from Florida.
Fair enough.
But South Carolina, if you come here, I'm a foodie. So shrimp and grits. They're very known for shrimp and grits. That's something that's a little different.
Okay.
They have the Gamecocks, but I am a Florida Gator fan. So a lot of times we go head to head.
Absolutely.
So they're known for the Gamecocks and good Southern hospitality. That's what South Carolina is. It's inexpensive and just good people.
Okay. All right. On your website, and to the listening and viewing audience, I encourage you to go to hushnomore.org, hushnomore.org, and you'll see Dr. Guyton's website. On the website, you have a ton of things you can do. It tells all about a story. It tells all about the opportunities that are there to help, to identify people, and then there were certain events that are coming up in the future. I listed a few things coming up for the month of April. April is the Abuse Awareness Month. And on the 2nd, we have concealed weapon permit training, and that's in Columbia, South Carolina. And on the 9th, we have sexual abuse virtual 5K. Now, how do you do a virtual 5K?
So how we do a virtual 5K is we meet up in Columbia, South Carolina, just as a group, and we do it together. But you could sign up and do it in your own neighborhood.
Okay.
So you could do it in your own community. You take pictures, you show up, and that's how you do a virtual 5K. I believe that you should post it on social media to let people know that you are serious about standing up against sexual abuse.
Okay. Well, if I just got in my car and I drove 5K and I'm going to put my camera out there and say, hey, I'm doing the virtual 5K, would that count?
That'll count.
That'll count? All right.
That'll count. If you do it in honor of Hush No More, that counts.
I'm going to do it in honor of Hush No More, and I'm going to post that. Okay, on the 10th of April, you also have the documentary screening that's free to the public?
So that is a virtual documentary screening. We have a amazing documentary that spotlights the stories of survivors of domestic violence, child sexual abuse, sexual assault, human trafficking. We have some good information on there just for families and for you to understand what people go through. Because oftentimes we hear, why didn't they leave? You know, how did this happen so long ago and they never told anybody? So you'll hear information from that perspective on our documentary. And it also gives us opportunity to talk to the community about what goes on as it relates to what we call the hush topics.
Gotcha. And then on the 30th, you have Stomp Out Crime Community Outreach. Tell us about that, please.
Yes. So Stomp Out Crime will be held at Benedict College. Will be at Benedict College off of Two Notch Road if you're here in Columbia. Everybody know where Two Notch is in Columbia. And it's a great community event. It's in the heart of the city. And we'll be giving out free food, clothes. There'll be HIV testing, free COVID testing, vaccines, anything that we could do to bring the community together. And it's going to be a step show. So we'll have step teams, we'll have performers, and just a big day that you could bring out your family. You can get a free personal safety alarm for everybody to carry to be safe when they're away from others. And it's just a day of love and a day of kindness. I believe that if we show more love and kindness, we wouldn't even have to do Sexual Assault Awareness Month. We wouldn't have to worry about domestic violence. And so the last week of April is Victims Crime Week. So no matter what, it's Victims Crime Week. Okay. So whatever you've been through, and I think it's important to get information before it happens, not necessarily after, but if something has already happened, you can come and get resources too. So we have the police department, the sheriff department, all different nonprofits are going to be there. And I'm really excited about just doing it for our community so people will know what's going on.
All right. Dr. Guyton, do you have any closing words? We're going to go ahead and close the show, but do you have anything you want to leave our fans with?
I do. So it's important to know that you're not alone, that there's help available. Even though we are located in Columbia, South Carolina, we assist anyone all over the world. I travel all over. It does not matter where you are. You could reach out for help. You could send a message to us on Facebook, on Instagram. You could call us. 1-888-285-2161. We're on all social media platforms. And just know that you have a right to tell it and you have a right to heal.
All right. Well, Dr. Guyton, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for all the efforts that you are making to make a change in your community and make a change in this world. And people, if you didn't hear it, go to hushnomore.org. You can go to Facebook Live on Tuesday nights at 8:30 p.m. You can also go to the podcast, Hush No More Champions. Hush No More Champions. The whole goal is to make sure that you're the hero in your own story. You can be the hero in your own story. Dr. Guyton, thank you so much, and we say Godspeed to you. Thank you for all that you are doing in your community and in the world today.
Thank you. Peace and blessings to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, we would like to take this time to thank Dr. Vanessa Guyton for coming on and sharing her story with us. It's such a compelling story. And we ask that if you have been a victim of any kind of abuse, if you have been in a situation where you feel like you were abused, we're asking you to reach out to her organization. And there are other helplines or other places you can get some help. Talk to someone. Get the help that you need to make sure that you're going to be okay. In closing, I would like to say this here. Life is precious. Our life is very valuable. Don't take it for granted. The question I want to ask the men that are listening to the show, we talked about the Will Smith situation earlier. What are the conversations that we're having with our young boys? What are the conversations that we're having with our young men? Is it okay to be a victim, or is it okay to be the perpetrator? Is it okay to put your hands on someone because someone says something to make you upset? Is it okay to defend someone's honor? Is it okay to do that? These are all questions we're having, that are conversations we should be having with our sons. Because what we witnessed on last Sunday night was a man assault another man. That's what we witnessed. And we know how social media is. We know how America is. We can find humor in anything. But right is right and wrong is wrong. So make sure we're having that conversation with our young people to let them understand what's right and what's wrong. Okay, until next time, I'm going to end with my favorite quote. I want you to live the life you love, but more importantly, love the life you live. This is coming directly from your favorite first cuz. See you next time.